right, we are live. What's going on?
Peace, peace. We cannot hear you, goddess.
How's that sound? That better?
Yes, that's a lot better. Thank you.
All right, all right. It is me. It is I. Me is conscious. And we are here with our Elijah Pat, my husband, and we got our goddess Kimmie here. And this was the Frequency Higher Talk podcast. This is our very first podcast. And we would also like to give a shout out to our God Martez. Happy birthday to you, God, and we hope you enjoy your day.
Woo!
All righty, all righty, all right.
Peace, peace.
Yes, God, we are so glad to have you. It's just a blessing to even be in your presence. But before we get started, before you get started, I'm going to let my husband introduce himself. This is our very first time doing a podcast together. We've done a lot of other things together, but podcast is the very first one. So I'm going to let him introduce.
All right. My name is Elijah Pat. Uh, he is conscious husband and conscious myself. Uh, excited about being here this podcast with you. God is Kimmie. I'm excited to hear what you're about to reveal and that. And so very excited to be here.
Ashe, Ashe.
All
I
right.
say,
All
Thank you
right.
for
Now we about
inviting.
so just let y'all know this is the disclaimer. If you're not ready to elevate in your conscious journey, then maybe this not the place for you to be. Because this God, she knows how to put it out there for us. She gives us the truth, the reality, and the proof. So we're gonna let her take it from here. And we just thank you, God, Kimmy, for coming in and introduce yourself and just let us have it. Because I'm ready.
Ashe. Ashe. First of all, I want to take the time to say thank you to the platform for inviting me. It's truly an honor when others can see the light shine bright. And that's all I represent is being a reflector or a reflection of my higher self amongst those who are of great mastery. Um, so I'm not sure. You say you just turning it over to me. Was there any questions, or or you just want me to go into a lesson? Because you know I got many lessons. So how
Oh,
exactly are we moving?
we're going to move, and we were talking about astrology earlier, and all the things that's going on now in the world, and how it all ties together. Some
Mm.
people understand it, some people don't. I understand some things, and I know my husband, he understands some things, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things that you can tie together, and just enlighten us on how this is all playing out, because everybody is looking at it like such a doomsday, but it's an elevation for our mind, our body, and our spirit. And I know you know all about that. And you can put the ties together for us. So we just gonna let you have it.
Ashe, Ashe. All right then. Well, let's get to work. Let's do what we've been called to do, Ashe, which is help be a guide to others so that they may find their way through this cosmic journey we call life. Ashe. So
Okay.
um we're going to start. Let's start with today. Today is a wonderful day. First of all, we have Frequency Higher that's coming and putting themselves on the map. Y'all breaking the algorithm and letting them know that, hey, we here. We ain't being silent. We moving forward. And so we are definitely grateful for that. And not only that, but let me show you how aligned Frequency Higher is within this moment of this great grand cosmic reset. Okay. Today, March the 21st, 2026, marks a perfect balance within the equinox, the spring equinox. And for someone who might be tuning in for the first time and not really knowing what that means. When we start talking about the spring equinox, we're talking about studying nature and studying the rotations of the sun. In this particular moment, the sun and the moon are coming to a complete balance, okay? And so what this energy is doing is performing a duration between light and darkness, okay? So there's a balance that's taking place on this particular day. This is not just any normal or original day, okay? Can y'all see me good? Can y'all hear me good?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. I don't want to be yelling in y'all. I don't sound like I'm yelling, do I?
You're
You're
fine.
good.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so this day marks the spring equinox, a point of perfect balance between, like I said, light and dark, day and night, which equals a powerful coding within the balance of our masculine and our feminine energy. When I start saying our masculine and our feminine energy, we're going to go into a little bit more detail on that a little bit later. But I also want to point out that balance, huh?
I just say,
Okay. Also, I want to bring out that this balance is bringing forth the death and a birth. So something in your past is finna die out in your actual existence, and something is finna be rebirthed in your actual existence, right? So the question is being able to identify what is leaving and what is coming into your existence. This is going to bring you to that cosmic energy, what we call 0 point. Okay. And a cosmic universe is a circle, right? A circle represents a whole 360 degrees. Well, you are at the center of that circle, right? And certain teachings, especially when you go more into comedic science or even into more Americans concepts, they would tell you standing on your square, the four corners. Even within standing on the four corners of your circumference is that circle. In the middle of that circle is you. I'm giving you this image because I really want us to understand the dynamics of where we are within this ancient comedic science of alignment right now, which is the actual true new year. Right? This is where things begin to come into birth, into existence. We've been taught during the Gregorian, I might be pronouncing that wrong, calendar, which is the European calendar, that the new year was at the beginning of the year during January. Well, January, it's impossible when you actually just look at the laws of science. It's impossible for January to be the beginning of the new year because, once again, things are still in death mode. When we go through our seasons, everything has its seasons, right? And everything has its time. So just like a tree, we produce our fruits within our season. And right now, within the spring equinox, we are in a birthing season. This is once again the evidence of how January is not the new year. The new year actually begins when the earth itself starts to reset and starts to rebirth. Now, what does that mean within us? Once again, to 0 point. You want to say something, guys?
We listen.
I do apologize. I don't hear you all.
oh no, we're just listening.
Oh, I thought y'all was asking questions. By all means, if y'all got a question, jump in there, okay? Because I'll get to going. Okay.
Roll. Come on.
Okay. So here we are within our Kemetic ancient Egyptian science, which recognizes the time of the true new year. The true new year, according to our Kemetic science, once again, before the Gregorian, that's how you pronounce it, the Gregorian calendar, which was January the 1st. Many ancient civilizations aligned their years with nature and cosmos. So before we actually start trying to be recorders of history or make our mark in history, the cosmic energy, which was actual shifts of the moon and the phases of the sun, is how we actually geared when we would plant our harvest, when we would actually pull up our harvest, when it was time to just let nature do its process of the what reset, which takes place during the winter seasons of our so-called calendar, right? The year begins with life. So if if the year begins with life, it only makes sense that it starts within the spring season, right? Even though we know that our calendar itself has even been altered. So actually, March might not actually be March according to how many different removes of science and learning we have developed. This is how come we rely on spiritual guidance to guide us. And when you're tapping into spiritual cosmic energy, you have a different navigation than man's concept of what he would like you to believe. So this is how people are like, well, how you know you're telling the truth? Well, let's look at nature. Let's actually go to the source, what herself. So within the spring, we can start realizing that things are starting to come back to life. Trees are starting to bud. The ground is starting to produce green grass again. The flowers are starting to bloom. So life is starting to take place. This is that transformation. When we start talking about us being spiritual beings, this transformation has a huge transfer within us as well, right? Mm-hmm. So the transformation within us is that this year begins once again in the spring, which is in March. Around this time, somewhere between the 19th and the 21st, we have the actual. Did y'all say something?
No.
Okay. Because it sounded like y'all was trying to say something.
No.
Okay.
No, we were listening. Now, and
you
were
had a
kind of
question?
going into it. We're talking about the reset. Can you specific tell me how would that affect us who are woke or conscious or, on the level of the frequency that we're talking about today?
Most definitely. So what's happening? Okay, so most definitely what's happening is within our DNA, our consciousness awakening is resetting itself from its old program. So we're going to find more situations where we're going to feel the illnesses first. That's going to feel like flu symptoms, like what I'm going through right now. My body is going through a huge detox, and we're going to get into that because I'm going to show y'all some elixirs and some herbs as well before we end that you can start taking to help align with your transformations, okay? So one of the things that's going to happen is within your DNA, you're awakening to higher intuitive channels, if you will. Okay, your intuition is definitely going to enheighten. So if you were already one who was my spirit, I knew my spirit told me to go left. I'm so grateful I listened to my spirit. Now you're going to have even a more echo or more vibration to bring more awareness that you going left. It's not a I think I should go left. It's going to be a I know I should go left. You see what I'm saying? Not only that, but your dreams are going to become more vivid. You're going to start having more downloads. Why are we having more downloads? Because once again, the memory of our ancient history is awakening within us. Our bodies are made of 81% of water. So that water is bringing back all the remembrance. This is where it's very important for the chosen ones to really get in the place of utilizing your affirmations and speaking them with the conviction of I am here and now. I have already. Changing the way we say things of maybe, well, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out, even though these are very honest concepts that we tap into, right? And being authentically ourselves. If you don't know, you just don't know. However, the concept is that you already know what you already knew. You just don't know it yet. And the reason you don't know it yet is because you haven't tapped into it. Until you actually sincerely tap into it, you're going to constantly be going through the doubts and the insecurities. Well, this particular cosmic reset is going to give you such downloads that your dreams are going to feel more like reality than your actual being awakened. And when I say awaken, meaning us with these two eyes being open now, and seeing things here, it's going to seem like our lives are literally shifting over, where our dream world is going to become more like our reality world. And our reality world is going to go back to its natural balance, being the actual dream world. Am I making sense? Okay.
Yes, I know. I always say that we know all things because we're connected universally to all things. But I always say it like this: I know all things, but I know what I need to know when I need to know it.
Ashe.
It's crystal,
Ashe.
crystal clear when I need to know. It's not coincidence, happenstance. I'm right place, right time, right people, right opportunity, right things. That's how I look at it because it's all connected. And I kind of go back, kind of allude to the 14 universal laws.
You went out, love. Your mic went out.
The mic went out. Can you hear
Yes,
me now?
yes, I hear you now. You said something about the 42, and that's all we heard.
No, I said I'm also alluding to the 14 universal laws.
Mm-hmm.
Law of oneness, law of vibration, law of attraction, all those different things.
Ashe. And see, that's one of the things, if I can just tap into sacred keys for a minute. Sacred keys for you, university, that's one of the things that we teach in all our concepts of general study and education, coming from the metaphysics and spiritual psychology standpoints. We are teaching you the hermetic principles, the universal laws, and Mayat, and how to enter them into your daily existence. Because what we don't realize, that we hold a lot of judgment amongst each other off of the rituals that we choose to practice our spiritual connection. And a lot of times that's the distortness that keeps us in a low vibration, where we're always challenging each other, we're always debating one another, and we're never in a place of being in reciprocity of receiving each other. But I just wanted to hit on that point because you brought up the whole concept of the universal principles. In our DNA, once again, it's very good that we also stay in that mindset of being in contract with the universe, because it teaches us how to navigate through the energy. When you're talking about higher frequencies and tapping into frequencies, you're also talking about tapping into sound as a healing mechanism, tapping into your arts and your talents, being in a place of creativity is tapping into source energy. You're always in source energy long as you're creating. If you're creating, you ain't got time for nothing else. I ain't got time to be in your business, you be in my business, what they doing down the street. We in creation mode, we're in building mode, we're in spirit, divine purpose of our alignment. So you can also look for becoming more sensitive to energy. You might, like, for example, myself, I cannot be in a crowded room of chaos. Okay. I can't be in that room because I'll absorb that energy. And in absorbing that energy, sometimes if you're not protected, right? And we don't talk about protecting your energy, right? And setting your boundaries. If you're not protected, you'll find yourself becoming very sensitive to absorbing other people's nonsense, other people's energy. Ain't got nothing to do with you. You just happen to be in the room, and now all of a sudden you just agitated. Why are you so agitated? Maybe it's the company you're keeping. Remember, on a quantum physics level, when we are interacting with each other, we're also imprinting on each other. Let's talk about it. In 2026, be prepared to embody energy, and embody energy. Which energy are you allowing to absorb your spiritual aura and become a part of your actual existence? Because we're in creation mode. We're in an energy right now where the universe is aligning us to certain degrees to rather detach from the old environment, or step into the new, or step into the new or to detach. You have those two options, and it's solely up to you. There's no more, as they say, a puppet master or a god up in the sky that's guiding your decisions. These decisions are strictly up to you, and which frequency you're going to vibrate at in your ascension into mastery.
Wow, I say.
Ashe. Also understand that this big reset of today is also dealing with your nervous system. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Let's talk about the nervous system, because when you start talking about the recalibration of the nervous system, you're talking about feeling more than you've ever felt before, or things that you might have thought was very shallow now have more meaning. It has more intensity. And so this is where the real shift is going to take away from those who have been doing the work and accepting their awakening transformation versus those who have been consistent in ignoring the transformation. Okay. um the mental shift of ignoring the transformation is going to be a breakdown of dis-ease within the body. This is why it's so important that you get into your holistic medicine and your holistic health and your yoga and your tai chi, because when you're tapping into those energies, you're breaking down stagnant energy that's bringing this ease within the body. You're discomfort, you're angry, you're overstimulated, you're frustrated, you're angry all the time, you're emotionally going through trauma roots loops. I'm sorry, my words. Trauma loops that's keeping you going in a circle, and you're not spiraling to evolve. You're just going around in that circle. I talk about it all the time. You have to be able to be in a position where you can see past the illusions of your family, your systems around you, meaning jobs, institutions, your community. You have to come to a place where you have to be selfish. And for a lot of people, people don't know what that looks like because we've been rooted and always given a lot of our energy over to other people. You see what I'm saying? So we become bombarded by anxieties and things of that nature, such as taking on other people's burdens. I just told you, you be so sensitive. You're going to be around energy, and you have to be able to discern: is this my energy or is this somebody else's? Right? Being so in tune with yourself that you understand that I will operate in a place of Maya. Once again, universal principles that was taught, left for us to be able to guide ourselves through, right? Maya teaches us to stay in a balance of how we produce ourselves to others and how we portray our energy in others' lives. Are we trying to manipulate them to fit our belief systems, to make them feel that they need to be going here to bring them self-insecurities and doubts? A lot of times, a lot of us who are calling ourselves doing great or doing good in people's lives are actually doing more hindrance in people's lives. Because once again, your mission is not my mission. We have to learn. I was telling the goddess earlier, we have to learn how to accept that even in us being women and men and dealing with our children, these, you know what I'm saying? We have to allow our children to experience living, because if we're not allowing them to experience living, then we're a violation of the universal law. You can't you can't dictate somebody else's destiny, then you take away their free will of choice. And that's what's happening throughout our nation, throughout our government. The government itself got away from Ma'at. So when it got away from Ma'at, it got away from the principles of balance, which brings off balance chaos. So whether we're too over one thing or we're over rebellious on another, we're not balanced within our dark and our light energy, which brings us back to the 21st of what's going on today, March 21st, 2026. We are in a perfect alignment with dark and light energy. And if you are balanced enough to even sit through this live, understand you have arrived. Okay. Now you must maintain your balance, your peace, and your happiness from this day forth. Because the challenge is you being the light in the world, right, is going to gravitate more light around you, right? Or it's going to gravitate more darkness around you, right? So when that darkness comes around, the question is the darkness going to consume you, that emotional vibration, those you're feeling, the attitudes that so and so had, you just walked in the room. It was a big fight before you got there, but that energy is still lingering, and you walked in the room, and now you're feeling the stagnation of the energy that has nothing to do with you. But because you are a source being, you rather absorbing that energy, or you're what? Reflecting that energy. You're transitioning that energy. This is where the spirit is causing for us to step. We finna find out who the real guys is in 2026, because the energy is going to cause you to rather go harder and stay ready for battle. You're going to what? Run and flee. And that's where something else that I was teaching earlier this week on my YouTube channel, that a lot of us spiritual beings are always talking about our boundaries. We're always talking about, oh, I got to go on, I don't got time for that. Or you disrespecting my boundaries, but you're not doing the work. Going into hermit mode is not just to get away from other people's bullsh crap. It's for you to go and learn what is causing me to have to go into a boundary. What is causing me to have to go into hermit mode. You're identifying self. Not what other people then said and did and why it didn't go right. You're identifying what vibration am I putting out there that's gravitating this energy to me, right? This is the real shadow. This is the real shadow work. Our mental is going to break down its old belief system. You're going to go to sleep one day, you're going to wake up the next day and have a whole different mentality of how you see life. Can you trust that intuition when it starts to recalibrate your DNA so it can be in alignment with your higher self, or would you deny yourself? This is the one sin that you'll find in a lot of biblical teachings, a lot of Masonic temples, and a lot of Arab teachings. It's always coming back to the heart and the ascension of self. You always see them talking about in every text. Is your heart pure? Is your heart cleaned up? Are you vibrating? In other words, in a quantum physics of understanding, are you vibrating high enough for you to be able to receive the blessing or receive the connection, the cord of life to your higher knowing, so that you can receive the abundance of the ascension that's taking place? You'll gravitate with that ascension because you're standing in a place of balance. You've learned how to take your work, your shadow work, and now apply it in real lifetime. So I can alter a situation in a moment of an eye, blink of an eye. I'm becoming more in tune with my ancestors and my spirit guides. I'm starting to see through the illusions, the relationship systems, being able to self-identify my emotions. I'm able to release the trauma. Because a lot of times, the only reason that bull crap still every time I turn around, they keep coming back. Because it's not them. It's not your mama, your daddy, your cousin, your brother, your sister, and everybody around you. It's you. You are the source of everything that's gravitating to you. If you think low of yourself, then low vibrational things come to you. You think higher of yourself, higher things gravitate to you. The frequency in which you are shifting, right, requires you to be in a place where you're ready to fight with all your might. For who? Yourself. Not because, oh, what they're going to think, what they're going to feel about it, what Goddess Kimmie said, what so-and-so said, but because you've done the work to know self so intimately that you understand that the only reason this person is in my face talking crazy right now is because I somewhere am vibrating on that same frequency.
Okay.
I'm vibrating. This person is talking reckless to me right now because somewhere within my mate, I'm vibrating on that frequency. But if you're tuned with yourself and you have trained yourself, you have disciplined yourself, and you're in line with yourself, then you also can look at it from a different perspective. This person talking reckless to me right now is here because I need to bring identification to their existence. Not because I'm supposed to run and hide. You get what I'm saying? They triggering me, because if they can trigger you, that's another sign. People pay close attention moving in 2026. If you are being triggered in any capacity of your character, okay, in your character, then your body is showing you where you need to detox something within your life so that your spiritual alignment can align.
All right,
That's
man.
awesome.
That was a mouthful.
Yeah.
Man,
I told you. Look,
Real talk, man.
I'm ready for war. You hear me? I'm ready for war. This is what the real war looks like.
Yes, yes, you are so right, man. Everything you're saying, there's a lot of stuff that I've heard, and some things kind of cleared up for me. You know, I just want to take 1 second to touch on that calendar thing
Hmm.
because I know you say a lot of things about the calendar and then the leap year and go backwards and forward, on all that type of stuff. So, what do you think about that? Do you what turning the clock, forward and then going backwards, and has it? Because I know for us, it has affected us.
Hmm.
It has really affected our bodies, our getting up, our going, our laying down. All that, it has really affected this time change has really affected, our bodies, like you were saying, and all of that. So what do you think about that? Do you think that's something we should stop or that we should continue on?
Well, I believe that as we gravitate more to the universe and that cosmic energy, the spirit will guide us more. I believe that we eventually will come off a man's time. We're going to get up with the sun and we're going to go down with the sun. And we're
Oh,
going to gravitate according to how the spirit guides us more so than man. Because that calendar, and I agree with you, it's a programming within our subconsciousness that's causing us to have to, what's the right word, spirit, bring it to me, it's causing chaos. Really, it's causing stagnation. I wouldn't say chaos, it's causing stagnations in the shifts, when we are constantly going against what we know is to be true. I can say old ascended master once taught me that man's timing is not God's timing, right? So when we're still Right. So when we're still practicing in certain rituals that we know that man created for us, right? We know man's concept is to overthrow and overpower us, right? We surrender our power to him when we're practicing in their rituals and their things. Peace, peace. So we are we we are learning how to come with man's timing, and that's just my own personal. Like I say, don't that one right there. Use at your own discretion. Okay, but for me, I do agree with you, God. It's 100%. It does throw off our algorithm of where we are right now when we're constantly trying to still live up and calibrate our existence to man's timing versus the spirit.
Yes, yes, I say, yeah, because it really has, like I said, it really has affected a lot of things, and it's like, okay, now I gotta go this way. But this is the first time that it has affected me in this way. Normally, when it happens, I can roll with it, but it has affected me a little different. So at least I'm glad I know I'm on the right road with it. I'm not just crazy.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
like I say, as we grow and move forward, Empress, we will like I said, that heightened intuition will start to kick in, and we'll be more guided by what the spirit is telling us. Our days and even the time factor will change, because remember, man, if my memory serves me correct, in collaborations of different studies, man has wanted to control time because that's the one thing he couldn't control. So he created a system that will occupy us to a point where it's now we are fatigued in our dealings because we're constantly working on that man's time. When we're spiritual beings where there is no such thing as time. There's just evolution. You see what I'm saying?
yep, from
Were
one
you
level
saying
to the
something?
yeah. God is giving. When you talk about going to the doing the work, you said something earlier about doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, what do you mean by that? What do you do just when you say doing the work?
I'm so glad you asked me that question, because now we hit the fun stuff. This is where you begin to create your own healing. This is how you become your own savior. Okay. This is where you start realizing, I've been eating this for so long, and this has been happening. What if I was to take that out of my diet and replace it with something that's more substantial and healing my body, what would be the outcome of that? You make yourself the science project, right? So the shadow work, the work I'm referencing to, is you really dissecting yourself and coming to a place where you are all the way real, not real, all the way well, that's what I'm trying to say, well kept and well versed in self. So I know that I don't like lima beans. I don't like the way they taste. So therefore, I'm not going to keep sitting here eating the lima beans and then wondering why I'm all gassy. You get what I'm saying? You have to be able to identify what is making your body respond the way it does and how to heal it. The wonderful thing, once again, about this this spring equinox energy that's ushering in our DNA is giving us signs. You have a pain, for example. If I have a pain in my shoulders or in my rib cage, that's a sign that I'm carrying somebody else's burden. Ain't that something? But I'm gonna run to the doctor and get sought out by the doctor. The doctor gonna give me some medicine that's gonna bring hindrance to my body when all I had to do was the spiritual work of let me sit down and identify, okay, I got a pain in my back. Spirit, what does pain in my back symbolize and what does it mean? Do the research. Okay, so I can change my diet. That will relieve some of the pain because it might be gas. Or I can actually do a ritual such as taking some parchment paper and a pencil, preferably a number 2 pencil, because you want to tap into the earth element as much as possible. And I can write on my paper, give gratitude and thanks as if it already was done for the release of my pain in my back, right? And give gratitude and thanks to, rather, you can tie it to a spirit, you can tie it to the ancestors. I give gratitude and thanks for Mama Oshun opening up a door of flow and abundance. I give gratitude to Papa Legba for the door of healing, whatever it is. I want this to be released from me. I'm going to fold it away from me, right? I'm giving gratitude that this is no longer a part of me. So I'm going to fold this paper away from me. Then I'm going to set it on fire. Why? Because I'm going to tap into the element of the earth to help me amplify what it is that I desire to manifest within my existence. Doing that work will help you a whole lot better than going to get pharmaceutical medicine. Just something that's simple. When you start tapping into self and understanding that the universe is here to help amplify and to move and shift things for you, things begin to change. So you start finding yourself eating better. You start finding yourself exercising, movement. Stop sitting still and holding all this energy. Some of us are hoarders when it comes down to energy. We hoard and hold up so much anger, so much frustration, so much resentment, right? So much bitterness that it starts to sit inside of us and starts to take disease. This is how we wind up with cancer, cysts, tumors, you know what I'm saying, deterioration of our bones, skin irritations. All these things start taking place because, once again, the real spiritual work isn't being put in place. We're only doing half of the job by trying to treat it. But how are you treating it? With pharmaceutical medicine, is only designed to treat. It's not designed to cure. And if it's not curing, then it only means it's causing defects in other parts of the body. So you're trying to cure this one pain, but it's bringing hindrance to your liver. You get what I'm saying? So now all of a sudden, where you went there for one little bitty thing, now you got a hill of different issues that are gaining up because, once again, this is chemical warfare that you're putting in your body when it comes down to what you're feeling. The body teaches you how to heal you. You just have to do the work of studying to show yourself to be approved so you'll know the steps of how to move out of it. Okay?
Confirmation and demonstration.
Pardon me?
Live what you're saying. It's a confirmation.
We
were talking about doing the work. We always kind of wonder where we would start studying something or looking into something. Then all of a sudden we go into something else. And I mean, we would really do the work on those one thing. And after a while, it just, we end up going somewhere else. And you kind of described that that's doing the work. And that's why things are happening like they're happening, because we're on that level and that frequency that you're talking about. And you're even adding more. And man, I'm enjoying this, baby. I'm really enjoying.
I
I'm really
should.
enjoying this today. You really fill me up today, and I know you filled up B. And I'm gonna let her say something on it because man,
Yes,
I
I
should.
definitely am inspired. I appreciate everything that we are hearing. I know you talked about herbs. I got a personal thing I want to talk about herbs for menopause. What do you suggest for that? Because that's something that I'm dealing with, and I don't want to deal with it pill wise. I don't want to deal with it hormonal wise. But it's been 10 years, and I'm still in it. So what would you suggest as a black woman?
Okay. One, changing our lifestyles, making our life rituals about ourselves, right? So the moment, one thing that the universe gave the woman that I personally can attest to versus the men is we have a exact connection to the source. And so the moment we start actually praising ourselves as royalty, then the source starts to pour into us those same royalties. So dealing with certain hormonal unbalances, we have to start thinking about the body is losing its memory. Okay. As women, like I say, as we all know, as we grow and get older, the same flexibility, the same energy levels, the same mobility is not the same the older we get, right? And a lot of that is because we're losing certain nutrients that need to be in the body, right? And we're not getting it through this diet in America. They don't have real food here. So what we have to do is find herbal supplements to replace those imbalances. And so one of those imbalances, if you have pen and paper, you can write these down for you real quick, is bicopo. I might be pronouncing it wrong, so I'm going to spell it because I am not very fluent in speaking this American language. Just letting you know, born and raised, but still can't speak it, okay? So here we go. You have Bacapo. Bacapo is Bacopa, okay? This enhances the memory. Remember when I said you're losing memory, this is how come we're having certain imbalances. You have to put these nutrients back into the body. So this helps you with memory and focus. As women, and we're going through these transitionings, now our body is lacking with certain nutrients that it usually would generate on its own. Okay. Then you have Gatu Cola, which is Gotukola. This is also a herb that's going to help you with brain rejuvenation. Okay. And it's going to also help with clarity because when we're going through menopause, we had those moments when it's like, man, I was just thinking about something. I don't know what happened. What was I was just finna do something. So you have those moments. This is going to help you keep a certain balance of being able to recalibrate and calculate what you're doing and bring clarity. Also, it's going to help spiritually with awareness.
could you
Then you
repeat
have rosemary.
that word again?
Is
Water,
Tommy? I didn't hear you, love.
spell that word again for us, goddess, if you don't mind. Guada,
G-O,
guada. I missed it.
okay, G-O-T-U, G-O-T-U, and then it's K-O-L-A. Those are two separate words, G-O-T-U, and then K-O-L-A. Once again, this is dealing with brain rejuvenation. This is going to help bring clarity and spiritual awareness.
Oh,
Okay, then rosemary increases alertness and circulation within the brain. So as we know, this is hold on one second, y'all. Um, I want to look another herb, but before I give it to you, I want to make sure it's going to do what it's supposed to do. Hold on. Okay, and so those particular herbs are going to help with, like I said, the transitioning of the mental, because once again, women go through a lot of transitions during hormonal imbalances, right? And it's like the impatience. You wind up wanting to move fast, right? Have quick impulses. These are imbalances, hormonal imbalances. So then we're going to go into regulating the our mood swings, right? And our night sweats as being women. So you need what's called black kush. So it's black, and then the word is spelled Chohosh. Okay, this is going to help reduce the hot flashes, and this is a natural herb. Okay, did y'all get it? It's called black kush. Might be pronouncing wrong, so spell it Chohosh. It reduces hot flashes, mood swings, and night sweats. Then you have red clove. This is
Uh-huh.
going to give you back your estrus balance within your estrogen. Don Quan, DONGQUAI. This is known for female ginseng. This is going to give you some of your energy back. And then the last one I have for you at this moment is wild yam root. Wild yam root. This supports your hormonal production and your cramping relief. If you're still going through cramping, women who are menopause and still going through cramping. Okay. Ashwagandha, lemon balm. There's a couple others, but those, if you can get those in your daily regimen, then you're going to see a huge change and a more comfortable transition of your menopause.
Right. I certainly appreciate that. Is there anything else you want to add to it? We're going to be wrapping it up in a minute. We don't want to overload the people for the first episode.
Overstand. I just wanted to, if I can just put a little bit out of there, a little bit of what to expect in the future, if I may, from this particular energy, from this window of opening up frequency higher and moving further into 2026. If you don't get anything else from what Egbekemi is telling you today, the number one key to get out of all energy is gratitude. Come to a place of gratitude in the middle of you want to be angry, in the middle of you want to react and respond. It's not fair. I'm tired. I'm fed up. Stop. You know what? I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Just you saying I'm grateful changed the algorithm of the energy and brings you to a place of balance.
Wow.
Ashe?
I say,
Ashe. So
well,
yeah,
we really
that's pretty.
appreciate you through, and just really just giving us, I mean, just everything. I'm just, my brain is absorbing it all. Um, you definitely will be back. We are going
Ashe,
to
Oh.
you. It
Ashe.
won't be far down the road. I really want to tap into some stuff that you talked about, for this timing and what's going on in this area. Um, Mr. EPAT, did you have anything to say?
No, just awesome. Like I said, more confirmation and demonstration on going to the next level and receiving everything that you said today.
Ashe. Grateful,
All of it. And we just
gratitude.
congratulate you. Not only that, but knowing what you know and being who you are. But keep doing what you're doing. I know that's kind of that may be kind of a little slight way of saying it, but you know what you're doing. You know your assignment, and the aura's there, everything's there. It's just like I said, confirmation, demonstration, it's working, and everybody we come in contact with is going to be the same. They'll be able to get it from us, even if we don't even say a word. This is how powerful it is. And so we thank
Ashe.
you for being you. And like she said, I'm looking for a part two to this.
Ashe.
Part
Ashe.
one, so much. It's a lot that she covered in a short time, but there's so much
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
just by listening to her. Are you familiar with Sister Maya?
Maya.
Myra,
Myra.
six
Myra.
star.
Oh, yes. I love Mama Myra. Yes.
There we, yeah, I hear a lot. I hear a little bit of her too. Uh, yeah, awesome, 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 awesome.
If
Well,
I
thank
can touch on one more thing before we get ready to close out.
Most definitely.
I always try to send people with something that they can utilize even after the show, right? So this portal is a portal of initiation. If you
mm,
sincerely want to ascend to your highest self, I encourage you to maintain this within this Aries fire energy,
mhm.
the action of leadership, the action of creation. Stay in a creative mind, stay in a creative environment. Understand that you cannot do any wrong, you only can learn. As long as you know that you are learning, then you winning. You don't have no time for negative anything because we're all learning how to move and ascend in a balance that's going to bring forth and usher back in the laws of Maya. And it's going to start here with frequency higher, higher, what is it? Higher frequency. I always get it mixed up. It's going to start here. It still said the same thing. We going higher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
higher.
Yeah. Thank you so
Okay.
much. I mean, we really, really appreciate you. And like you said, we definitely gonna have more than just this one little part. And we appreciate everybody that came through, that supported us on this first time. And it's only going to
Thank you.
get better from here. All right.
Ashe.
We encourage everybody to come back and keep updated on the next one. We're going to announce the next one we're going to have. So, stay in contact with myself, stay in contact with Goddess Kimmie, and we'll definitely be updated on the very next podcast. And we appreciate you all. Happy birthday, Bartez.
Happy birthday.
Happy
God, we love
birthday,
you.
Martez.
Hey,
Woo. And
honey,
look,
we love you. Ashe.
Birthday.
Ashe,
All right, now.
Ashe.
We just love you all. We appreciate each and every one of you.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.